All right, guys, here we are. 1 year later, the Dev Dump podcast. How's everybody been?
So
Doing
Good.
well.
how's it like? How
It's
long
been
has it
quite a
actually
while.
been?
It's been a year.
Do we like?
It's-
Has it been actually 12 months?
Since we were
It's been-
all here, it's been a year, but we did one with Next Program like 9 months ago.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's good
So-
to be back, guys.
It's
Yeah.
great. We kind of
Revival.
just forgot.
I don't think we
Yeah,
forgot. I
yeah,
think
we
we were
kinda
just
forgot about the
busy.
dev.
What
Yeah,
actually
it's kinda my
happened
fault,
is
especially-
we've been planning to do it every single week since, but Mark's been busy every single time.
That's me. Yeah.
It's totally his fault, man.
It's all Mark.
Mark,
It's all
You call
him.
me every night. You leave me voicemails. Where are you?
Please
Yeah, literally.
respond.
Well, I guess you're first, man. You know, like, what have you been up to? Past year. What's been going on, man? What's been going on?
I've just been working on projects. It's one of those things. Like, it's the endless cycle of you're trying to make videos to grow your channel.
Yeah.
And because people are like, as soon as you put out a video, it's like, when's your next video coming out? But then you also have to like make a game as well. So it's like this weird balance between like actually being a developer and being a YouTuber. So I've been working on like 4 projects over the past year. I did a Kickstarter for my board game, and I'm
Huge.
still fulfilling for it 1 year later. So we're still fulfilling. We ticked off some
Let's go.
Australians. Sorry about that. You guys are awesome. But we're like prototyping an MMO, my little studio, and we're still working on Dewdrop Dynasty, and that's about it. It's just like you think
Time
a
flies.
year's time a lot would happen, but it's kind of
Mhm.
more or less just still working on the same projects and just like moving forward.
I'm not gonna lie, Mark. Every time I see you on Twitter, it's like you're working on something completely different. Like, I just can't keep up. It's just
okay. I'm a 3-week dev is what I consider myself. So I'll work on a project for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I have 4 main projects. Like the beginning of this year, I'm like, all right, here's my 4 main projects I'm going to work on. So every 3 to 4 weeks, I bounce back and forth between those projects. So I'm like, all right, this month I'm working on Dewdrop. This month I'm working on Blizzard Blowout because that's almost done. That's a smaller, what was that, Game Jam game I made that we're going to release on the Switch. So I work on that, and then 1 month I'll work on our MMO prototype, and so that's all it is. I don't work on new projects though. I've kind of promised myself I wouldn't do that. So,
Yeah, for sure.
but yeah,
Man,
it
there's
does
still a
feel
lot
like I'm
going
making
on, man.
something new all the time.
Yeah.
I know, Reece. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you've been consistently working on Monster Triad for like 18 years.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm 21 now, and the game's been going for 18 years, so it's
Yeah, how's
It's-
that
It's
feel?
gotta
a
be
big part of my
close
life
now.
now at this point, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have no idea. Honestly, like I couldn't tell you because every single day I'm like, oh my god, I want to do something new, and then I don't. And yeah, so that's been my year is every day feeling like you want to do something new and you don't.
Aw,
So
that's sad.
It looks like it's coming along great though.
yeah, I mean,
And
there's been a lot of like improvements for sure, and I'm finally at a point where I feel good. I feel good with the project. I feel, like comfortable. Like this was a huge year to really like actually, live out like a full-time kind of situation. Last year was like the setup year. This year is actually just riding it out. So it's been a great experience for sure. But it's just like working on the same project for a bit over 2 years now. Like it's not for me personally. Like after this project, I need a break from long-term projects. I'm gonna become short-term for sure.
I feel like every time we talk, it's like back and forth. You're like, oh, I need a break. Next time you're like, I'm loving this is the best project I've ever done. It probably helps too that you got a publisher for the game as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, has that added more stress, made it more
Oh, yeah.
fun, vice versa?
More stress for sure. I plan on making a video up about it after the game goes live, and I don't have to worry about too much backlash. But I plan on just being transparent with my experience, talking about it. It's everything has its good and bad moments, so it's not all good, it's not all bad. But for me personally, I know like after this project, there's only like one or two companies that I would want to work with. Other than that, I'm just self-publishing everything I do from here on out. So if that says anything, you know, it's a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress.
Yeah, it seems like it's.
What about you
a
guys
learning
over on the
experience.
left side? What have
Hi.
you guys been up to?
Jacob, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll talk.
Pretty sure
I
it's
guess
gonna
for
be
me,
quick with all those videos you put out this year.
okay. Yeah, so
Jacob's been doing
past
nothing.
year, I
God.
started like college. So going into that, I wanted to take a break for at least like a few months just to focus on like meeting people and like getting involved and stuff. But that kind of turned into like over half a year, like 8 months, other than one video I did for like Team C's, but that was like 4 minutes long, doesn't really count. But yeah, it's been fun just like kind of getting into like school life. And I've made like a few games, like done some game jams with friends and like in bigger groups, stuff like that. And yeah, now that that's wrapping up, like I'm in like my last like couple weeks of school, I definitely want to go back into making videos again. But I guess the break was nice, just focusing on like making a few games and just like school and stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
What's your
I guess
degree
that was
you're
pretty
going for
short.
again?
Computer science, maybe
Nice.
graphic design too, following
Hey.
Goodgis
Oh, yeah?
footsteps.
Yeah.
Exciting.
That is exciting. Yeah, I mean,
Jack.
my year's been weird. Basically, I kind of went like last time we talked. Like I was dead set. I was going to university. Like I was doing exactly what
Yep.
Jacob's doing. Now it's like the complete polar opposite, right? Like I've been making videos pretty much every single month since the last podcast. They've been doing pretty well, and I feel like now at a point where we could probably just take a year out, see what happens. And so I got a lot of stuff planned for this year. Got a lot of games that I want to work on, and yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, I'm hyped for you.
Yeah.
bro.
I saw you.
Yeah, no. I think it's exciting because I think Jack's in a kind of situation where like his like I guess shift is like starting now. Whereas like like Jacob went to school last year, like that was a shift for him. Like Mark, I feel like you kind of went more like in the dark, like just like developing games a little bit more like
Yeah.
quietly almost. Like everyone's kind of shifting. I think Jack's now starting to like shift because he's getting tons and tons of more exposure, which is I'm really happy about that because like you've been crushing it since day one, man, and
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you're finally getting the recognition you deserve. But I
Thanks,
think
man.
it's exciting because it's just sprouting. Like I don't think anything's gonna dip down in the next while. So
Yeah, it should be
Yeah.
exciting.
Can we just point
excited
out?
to see what happens.
Can we
for
point
sure.
out, Jack? You had like 2,000 subscribers last episode.
It's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
it's
crazy.
crazy.
In a-
I
in a
got a
big year.
couple. I got a couple.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
5 more.
At least a few.
5 more subscribers in the last year. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's
At-
funny
at least
actually
like a
because
50%
I remember
gain.
the first one we did. We were like going to promote it, and I was like, what's even the point in me promoting this? Like, I remember Jacob had like 40K. Goodgis was at
Yeah.
like I think like 15. Reece, you were approaching 10, and I was there with like 1.5K. Like,
It's crazy.
yeah.
yeah, it's kind
Oh,
of
how
Actually
things have
insane.
changed.
Mm-hmm. So
But-
yeah,
Okay, so my question for you guys is, we're talking about 1 year. It's been a year since we've done the podcast. Clearly, we're going to be talking a little bit more about that and also the future. But kind of before we get into that, I just wanted to ask you guys, like, is this a long-term thing for you guys?
as in like YouTube.
YouTube,
In the podcast or like YouTube?
like YouTube or game dev or both.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Kind of like what do you guys plan on doing? Jacob, you're in school now. Mark, you're still kind of like working your job, like whatever. Like, what do you guys plan on doing for the future?
Wait, before we answer this, I want to add like an extension, right? It's been a year
Okay.
since the last one, okay? So how about
Yeah.
we do like a where we want to be in a year? So then
Okay.
we can do another one of
Okay.
these in a year and watch back and see if we were right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I guess Mark, you can start.
Okay. A year's time, I would love to definitely hit 100K because I'm creeping up
Easy.
slowly to that number. And then I want to hopefully release Dewdrop by then. Like, it's been a great project, and it's really taught me a lot about Godot, considering it was my first Godot project, and just even like game development stuff. But I'm excited to wrap it up and have people play it. But there's like that weird expectancy that like people want to play this game and you're terrified to release it because they want to play it. So I'm hoping that in a year's time, that's done and I can continue to grow. Like last year was really great, or the last 365 days have been great because the channel's been growing. I've been able to I've been contracting out a lot of like my Fear team members and stuff like that, which has been cool. Like to actually manage a studio. There'd be a week or two where I'd literally be like playing some games or working on a video, and progress was getting done because contracting out work. So that's kind of the direction I want to go. And to answer Reese's question, because I might as well just do while I'm here, I think I definitely want to do this. Like I'm willing to play the long game. I'm willing to like keep developing game, even if it takes another 5 years to fully have success. I'm in a great situation now that I can keep working my job and doing this on the side, and it's just, I think it's a matter of time before it builds momentum and then
100%.
fully transition over to it. So I'm gonna pass it off to Jacob.
Okay. I think for me, I'm still trying to figure out, like, do I want to keep this as like a hobby, or do I want to like try and do this for the rest of my life, or at least like the far future? So I thought about like taking a gap semester to try things out. But I think for now, like this summer, I want to take content like pretty seriously and like see if I enjoy it when I'm like treating it like that, and like see where that goes. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for summer. A year from now, I don't really know where I'll be. I think I'll have to wait and see. Still trying to figure out, everything. But yeah.
Fair enough.
Do you think you're down, like, you'd still be more YouTube related or more like development related a year from now?
Probably YouTube. I don't know.
Probably YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be
Yeah,
my
I think
guess.
I've never really been much of a game developer. Most of my games are very,
I
very
was-
very simple. I'm
I
just
was
very
just
I just
I was just-
prioritize the simplicity,
I was on your itch
Yeah.
page literally like 2 days ago, and I was just reading. I was trying to play the games, and half the games like weren't working, and I was just reading the comments like broken memory.
None of my games work. And most of them are like tied to the frame rate of your computer too. It's
like
great.
no delta speed.
Yeah. I'm just
Hey,
just a top tier game developer.
it's still inspiring. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Go on,
And hey,
Reese. Reese, you go next.
The entertainment route, it's
Yeah, I
you can
think
take
so.
it in many different ways.
Yeah. Just see where that goes.
I'm next.
Yeah.
1 year from now, I feel like, 1 year from now, I'll be done this game that I've been working on since, the beginning of the channel, basically. So that's a little scary, because, you always, in the back of your mind, when you do a long-term project like this, which I don't know if any of you guys really feel like this because, Mark, you've been working on Dewdrop since the start, but you've also been doing a lot of other projects that have been successful on your channel since the start. But I think I'm in a weird position where my best videos are the devlog videos, right? So there's definitely a bit of a scare there, and what happens when this thing is done? What happens when the content shifts? Because I do want to be like a YouTuber, I think like developing this game is making me kind of realize like I like the game development thing. Don't want to do it forever. And I think like I need the YouTube thing for all of my other incomes. Like that's literally what's driven everything for me to be able to do this in the first place. So definitely still doing YouTube, definitely still making games, but I think a year out from now, I definitely want to focus on kind of scaling back a little bit. And as Mark was saying, like I want to do a lot more like contract work and like hiring people to, let's say, develop, like do the programming, whereas I'm just doing the art and the marketing and kind of the project management. So that's my goal for sure. That's kind of what I'm saving for, is really just saving for a house, and I'm saving for, money to actually get other people to like hire people on full time, to give other people jobs, right? Like that would be amazing, if I could do that. So, yeah, it's kind of my plan. Just travel, do a lot more travel, meet you guys. I'm hoping like a year from now, I meet all of you guys.
Yeah.
Mark, definitely. Like I'm coming to the States real soon. Same with Jacob. Jacob's in the States,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
honestly, I think Europe's my next spot. So Jack's a train ride away. So yeah, that's my goal. Meet all of you guys
All right,
a year
cool.
from now.
I like that. For me, in a year, I don't know. My number one priority in a year is obviously to get to a point where I don't have to go to university, right? I can just carry on doing this.
Yeah.
So I've got a few different things I want to do. I want to start. I've started streaming recently. I'd like to get to a point where the Twitch streams like grown huge. Like I want to be like number one game development streamer on Twitch. I think that'd be cool. Obviously my second channel, that's going to be cut down stream highlights. I think if I can get that to a point where it's profitable and it's paying like an editor full time, to basically have almost daily uploads, that would be insane. And then main channel wise, I kind of just want to upload less but of higher quality, right? I want to get to a point where I've got such a good core audience that I don't really have to worry too much about now appealing to algorithms and gaining lots and lots of followers, and instead I can just give content out to the people that are already there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just get to that point. This is gonna backfire now because I'm gonna be homeless in a year, and I'm gonna be like doing the dev dump from underneath a bridge on the
See how much hope you had.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. Like, do you have like a number in your head that you have to hit in order to financially, get to that point? Because that's the tricky thing about. Well, it's hard. Like, even if you get more subscribers, that doesn't mean you're necessarily making more money, or vice versa. And it kind of comes down to like stable income off YouTube? Is it Patreon? Is it doing Twitch? Is it your games that you're selling? It's kind of interesting to see everyone's like different routes that everyone's taking to kind of sustain themselves. So funnily enough, Reece, you're like the most stable with the game dev stuff because of your situation and being able to work in your game with a publisher. And, yeah. So it's weird to think about that. Some people think like, oh, you got 100,000 subscribers, you're making millions of dollars. Like, yeah, no.
It's
it's
how you
not
that's
quite
the-
right.
and I think
That's
Sorry,
the
go
cool
ahead.
thing about it, though. There's like so many different routes you can take when it comes to like growth and like revenue sources. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It is. That's why I know I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. I don't know
Yeah,
if
for
I don't know if we talked about future thing or whatever. I know I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life because I've mapped it out already. I figured it out.
Yeah.
I know how to do it. So, like, I think that's a huge thing. Is just knowing the ways to make revenue, how to exploit what's given to you, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And like I think it's an exciting thing, right? Like there's so many different ways to kind of take it in like education, entertainment, blogs, whatever it is. Like you can branch out. You're building a brand based on you. So at the end of the day, it's like do what you want to do. And I think that's very exciting. Question for you guys. I think I know the answer to this one. I definitely have an answer to this. But I'm curious to know what you guys think of this. Do you guys think, like, for our viewers, listening to this right now, do you guys think it is too late? Is it too late to become a YouTuber in the game dev niche? Are things dried out, things oversaturated, or is there still like more room to
Yeah.
find something new?
I mean, this is.
think-
I was
Oh,
actually
go
going to
ahead.
bring this up. Is like since we last made a podcast, like the amount of channels that have just sprung up out of nowhere. Like,
Yeah.
if you go back like 3 years, and I say this all the time, but all devlogs were just the same thing. It was like lo-fi music, filming rivers, like it's that was it. Like, and then there was like a bit of a shift, and then so many more people came through. Like, I guess like our generation of game developer YouTubers, and
Yeah.
then from there on out, it just got crazy. Like the amount of channels that are just like, Goodgis, you actually said something to me like a year ago that has just never left my head, and it was about like how you think that a lot of channels plateau at 50K, and that number has seemed to just decrease and decrease and decrease, and now it's like 1,000. Like the amount of channels just stuck at 1,000 subscribers, like.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. I think it's way easier to grow to that point now because there's a bigger audience for it. As long as you're making semi-decent stuff, you can grow to 1,000 subs pretty easily. But
Well, I'm
on.
shocked though because I've seen people that like fantastic quality videos and they've been doing it for a while, and yeah, they get to 1,000, they can't grow at all. They just don't get the views. It is really, it's strange to me sometimes when you see someone doing everything right, but it just like I don't know, maybe the algorithm doesn't like them, or maybe you don't know. Maybe people don't like their personality, they just don't like their face or something. There's so many factors that kind of affect it, but yeah,
It's
it is
definitely
weird to think about.
shifted more towards entertainment than it has being technical. Because like
Yeah.
if Thin Matrix made his YouTube channel today, it probably wouldn't do that well. Like realistically,
Yeah, that
even
makes
though
sense.
he's
The
an absolute
landscape
goat.
has just
There was
changed
something-
so
Yeah.
much.
So it's like
You
now.
need something.
Go on, Reece, sorry.
I was just gonna say you need something new, or you need like something entertaining.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
at that time, like doing game development on YouTube, that was the pull, right? That was new.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think like
but
at
it's
the
hard
end of
to
the
make money
day,
like that now.
yeah, like at the end of the day, I think as much as things have changed, I think if you're doing something unique, you'll like stand out and find your spot. But it was just
Yeah.
like back when things were less saturated. Like we were lucky to get in early, where like making a game in 24 hours was like a unique concept and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. Like there's some smaller channels I follow, and one of them is just like making games for the Playmate, which is like that weird like Game Boy Advance
yeah.
looking device that came out. And so I watch it because it's interesting because there really isn't anything like it. But you're right, like the same type, like certain types of videos, like people just don't want to see. If they want to see 24-hour video, they want to see it from a Reece or from from like a Barji or something, because someone that they're already familiar with. But it's hard to like. I realized like I had a lot of growth in my channel when I made my board game video because no one had made board game devlogs before.
Yeah.
And it actually says like YouTube has a new feature like called research and analytics, and it shows like topics that people like. There's content gaps where people are looking for content but there's nothing. And
Oh, yeah,
board game devlogs is one of the things like that I
So
just saw
weird.
recently. So
Yeah.
you just
That's
find
cool.
you find a niche and then people like it. And I think that's what like all the original channels kind of did, even like with Jonas and Vimlark and Thin Matrix and stuff. So
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
So
I don't think it's impossible to get into it now. You do have to find
Yeah.
that niche. You got to do something new. And I think the standard of like your editing and stuff like that is a lot higher now.
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
For me,
standards
my
are
first
way
video-
up. You
They're
can't-
extremely out because
Yeah.
everyone's doing it now. Like my first devlog, I was in monotone with the lo-fi music. Like literally, it was like poorly edited, and I don't know how. I think I got like 100. So I think I hit 1,000 subscribers in 1 month just doing like 2 or 3 videos that like weren't even that crazy editing.
Mhm.
Just because I think at that time there weren't a lot of people. But the only other thing I'll say is that a lot of the OGs aren't really making videos anymore. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people I
Yeah.
used to watch that
Yeah.
dropped off. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's
The thing
kind of
with
Gold
crazy.
like,
rush.
that kind of scares me. I
because
don't know about
it's
you guys.
weird.
I look at it, I'm like, am
I
I
know.
washed up? Like, am I like, am I still allowed to make videos?
I know,
Have I
it's
been
scary.
on here for too long? Because it just feels like people, you get big, you get popular, whatever. Not even that. I'm not even, you know, not even popular, but you know what I mean. Like people tend to kind of like make videos, they get big, then they kind of make videos for like a year. I don't know if they get bored or if, the market just like dries up and people aren't interested anymore. But yeah, it seems to be happening. Like a lot of the channels that I started watching when I was making stuff, they don't really make stuff anymore. It's
Yeah, it's
weird.
super weird. Like
Weird.
as like saturated as it is, it's like a lot of like the biggest channels like don't upload.
Yeah.
Like like
It's
people like
strange.
Yeah.
Danny or whatever just upload like every like, maybe like couple of months. And
Mhm.
Sam Hogan, I miss Sam Hogan.
I know. I miss Sam
Where
too.
is he, man?
He
Like
actually,
it's
okay, this is weird. He tweeted today like a bunch of random letters and numbers. I don't know if he was hacked or if it's like some cryptic like announcement. Hopefully the
Yeah,
second one.
I saw that as well.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Yeah, I tried to like decode it, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I wonder
Honestly, I
if
think
part of channels dying too is just like not changing up their formula, because the
Yeah.
weirdest thing about making videos is you're trying to create a formula so it's like comfortable to do on a regular basis,
Mhm.
but then people get tired of it because it's a formula, so you're like trying to
Yeah.
invent new ideas while and like you sit down and you're like, okay, I gotta make this game, and it needs to be entertaining, but it needs to be something I need to like enjoy working on too. And it's like this weird balance. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna make C++ in 24 hours. Here we go. No, I literally had the idea the other day. I was like, wait, what am I doing?
I know.
But like, it's hard to reinvent yourself and try something new. And I
Yeah.
think it's if you can have the more generic content sometimes like helps. Like that's really helped my channel is like having the more game dev stuff where I'm just like teaching what I'm learning.
yeah.
Which I noticed that's what Jonas does. Jonas does like devlogs, and he does like, oh, this is what I've learned, and then he interviews people. So I don't know. It's just keeping it fresh and trying new things. So
Yeah. I feel like in the same way like a completely brand new channel has to do something different, like even established channels, you have to change it up every once in a while.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
For
is
sure.
also interesting how you said like a lot of channels once they get bigger, they kind of like broaden and like I guess diversify their content where like when you're starting out, like most people like niche down a ton.
I think that's what you need
yeah.
to do. Like if you,
Yeah, just kind of
Yeah.
like establish your
Yeah.
presence and then you
yeah,
can kind of do more random stuff.
I think the algorithm probably has a tricky time placing you if you're just uploading like Fortnite montage and then like travel vlog, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if you want to grow,
Yeah,
you
for
really
sure.
need to like, you need to find something that appeals to people. But a lot of the time, the people that have just like stormed past the competition have just like looked at it's almost like they've taken the person before's ideas and just remixed them slightly. But
Yeah,
it's
for
like
sure.
if you're gonna be a carbon copy of Danny, you're not gonna get anywhere. But you can look at Danny and say like, all right, well, he uses comedy in his videos. He paces them quite well. His intros have like a storyline to them, and you can take that, apply it to your own stuff, and it's just
Yeah.
that's what works, not just duplicate.
It reminds me of the Minecraft thing where Sam Hogan made the Minecraft video, then like 3 other people blew up from like doing it with a twist or whatever. Like the same thing.
There's
Yeah.
so many of those videos.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever feel like you look too much at other people's videos when trying to come up with new ideas, or do you feel like you guys are like you have enough? You're like, no, I don't have to look at reference or see what anyone else is doing.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes I feel like I'm taking inspiration from like other content and like content like completely outside of my niche too, when really I should just look at like my channel, look at like my most popular videos and see why they worked instead of trying to do what works for like other channels like Mr. Beast or whatever. But
I
yeah.
mean, it seems like it works well. Like I feel like sometimes I can fall into that trap where it's like seeing what I'm like, okay, this does well or past videos, and like a lot of times I just don't know if a video is gonna be successful or not unless it's a Godot video. People get upset about my Godot videos. Like, can you quit making Godot videos? But they always do well. People just want to hear the same thing about like, no, Unity sucks. Godot's great. They're like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That controversial feedback.
Oh, with my
That's
game
what
dev
blows up your
tips.
videos. all
Oh
those
no, I'm not
comments.
gonna lie. When you said the thing about like don't put exclamation marks for like making a variable false or whatever, I was just like, what is this guy saying?
Okay,
Instant block, instant
Unsubscribe.
unsubscribe.
that was from a 25-year-old or not 25-year veteran in the C++ like trainer, and he said when you're
Oh,
learning,
okay.
like you shouldn't use shorthand. But yeah,
Mm.
even my brother, he called me up. He's like, what the heck? He's like, what was that advice? I'm like, well, I just try to give what I know, but it's
Yeah.
it's funny enough. Like I always end up offending someone with a video, but it actually ends up helping
Yeah.
my videos a lot of times because of
Yeah.
controversy.
You deeply offended me, but I still watched the video, so I guess it worked out for you.
You're like, why?
I like your face, so keep you on. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can't remember what I was gonna say, but it was
Have you guys
something.
have any received any death threats from videos yet?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Maybe on Twitter. I don't know about on YouTube.
Jacob Snakebot.
I think same for
Definitely.
me,
Oh, gosh.
but with Steam. Steam is
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
Steam.
next level toxic. It's bad.
TikTok is
Really?
also so
From
toxic.
what?
Comments on there.
Just what do you mean from what?
Like from what game?
Then grapple. Honestly,
Really?
yeah.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
any Steam is just toxic because no one knows who you are, right? Like,
Yeah.
if someone plays the game and they've watched a YouTube video, it's like, okay, fair enough. Like, it was made for a video. But if they play your game and it's like they don't have that context, it's like they get mad.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
That's why I upload on itch.io because I just link the video there so they see it.
yeah, I mean, I found recently that my YouTube comments are just I cannot get anything valuable out of them anymore. They're so bad.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's like the thing is, like, I'll get like 5 times as many hate comments as any other comment, yet I'm still getting like fucking green arrows on my video. Like,
Yeah.
it's like the support from the numbers is like insane, but then the actual comment feedback is like terrible, and it's like, how can you value that when the videos are still doing well? And it's just
Yeah.
it's a horrible feedback loop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw your tweet about that. I think there's just like a shift after a certain point where
Yeah.
like it's just random people who click the video, and I guess people will watch it, but those people aren't the ones who comment. Like the people who enjoy it don't have anything to
Yeah.
say, I guess, if they like it. So then it's just like a vocal minority of people leaving comments.
I always like if someone has a good argument, I'll reply. But if someone's like savage, I just remove it. And every time I've replied to someone, I was like, "Oh, can you explain your point?" They're like, "Ah," and they just get so mad. I'm like, "All right, there's no conversation here." It's like I even said I was like, how old are you? But I think yeah, I don't know about you guys. I still reply to every single comment. And I feel like I
Really?
lose a little bit of my soul when I do it. Like when I post a new video, I reply, and then I take breaks, and I'll dedicate
gosh,
a day for it. And you literally feel like the scum of the earth afterwards. And it could be like mostly positive comments, but one person is just like oh, that C++ comment or whatever, terrible. Where'd you learn? Like, so
Yeah.
do you guys
Yeah.
kind of fight that sometimes, or it's
I think the worst thing is like when you make like a mistake in a video and then every comment
Oh yeah.
points it out like
Yep.
forever.
Yeah.
It'll be like 2 years after I post the video and people are still commenting about it.
I find
Even
that
if I
funny.
like update like the pinned comment, the description, people just don't read it. I'm like, okay.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that
don't think I can
happened-
read all my comments anymore. It's just
That-
too toxic.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'll be able to do it, but I'm gonna keep trying. But
Yeah.
it's funny because I actually my brother edits my videos now,
Mhm.
and so sometimes he'll like miss a detail, and I was talking about like, oh, what if you picked up crocheting? And I mentioned like using crocheting in my video, but I showed footage, or he showed footage of someone knitting, and so many people were like, that's not crocheting. Are you insane?
Yes,
You get
exactly.
backlash for it.
I mean,
It's a price
Yeah.
to pay for editors.
I've found with my comments is that like I just don't respond anymore, even if like the person is just objectively wrong. The only time I'll respond, and I've been doing this a lot recently because it's really funny, is I'll always go on people's channels when they comment if they leave something bad, just to see what they're uploading. So I'll like go on their channel, and if they've uploaded something recently, I'll just say like, I really love this video by you, and it just like messes with them because they've just left like this horrible
Yikes.
comment, and I'm just like,
That's so funny.
I love you.
It's kind of amazing. Wow.
No, I don't think I've ever done that. For me, I just don't like if something doesn't add value, I don't really respond to it.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I don't know. I mean, I think like yeah, I don't know. I try to do my best to like keep a positive community, keep a positive attitude. Like even if people say something negative or, have a different opinion, like, we all have different perspectives, and so I kind of just approach it in a antagonistic
Yeah.
way. And like I don't know, most of the time like that's fine, but now at this point I usually just don't respond like if somebody has an issue, because I know like everyone's not like nobody else is me, so nobody has my exact view, right? So
Yeah.
I'm not here to change the world's mind, just here to help the people that feel the same way about the things that I care about, and that's about it. So
I know some people
Yeah.
can get. I'm sure someone's gonna leave an angry message about us even talking about this in the first place. Like, oh, you
this
you
is
got so
controversial
many
stuff here, guys.
subscribers, it shouldn't matter, But it honestly does. Like, it just
So
like
ungrateful.
Funny though.
like people act like fame, even as small as what we have, whatever. Like, they act like fame's amazing, but it's really like
Mhm.
it's kind of I don't know. It's very stressful. There's a lot of people that have these expectations on how you should live your life. And if you don't live it to exactly their standards, they get really upset. It's just like a really weird thing to think about.
Mhm.
Like, have you guys ever looked at images of like how many 100,000 people is or 30,000 people? Like,
Mhm.
it's insane.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy to think about. So,
Mhm.
for
I mean,
those,
it's pressure, right? It's a lot of pressure being in the spotlight.
and once you make a mistake, people are there to jump on you, and it's just something consider. Like, if you get into start doing YouTube, just know that it's great. There's so many amazing people you meet, but there's a cost that comes with it as well.
Yeah.
That can be
Yeah.
Anything.
challenging for sure.
It's just
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
so unnatural, really, to just have so many like people coming at you one way and then like a single person on the other end of it. I don't know. But I guess at the end of the day, I'm thankful for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Yeah,
I do
guess
miss the days when I wasn't like checking social media constantly, like reading comments and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had to.
I have a bad thing with that. Like, constantly checking like analytics and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
I actually block Twitter and YouTube generally, like when I have to get work done, just because like you want to grow, you want to interact with people. There's people reaching out to you, you want to help them out, but then eventually you're just like, enough is enough. I don't
Mhm.
care. I just pretend that nobody's watching me. I'm just gonna make a weird cooking game or something. Like, you just want to make something for fun,
Yeah.
That's what I'm all about. If I'm not having fun, then like, what's the point of working at, like, I could be working at 9 to 5 that I'm not having fun, and
Yeah.
it's the equivalent, like
Mhm.
I don't think any of us want to just like keep doing game dev and YouTube and just get stuck into a 9 to 5 where we're just stressed out and doing like you don't have any freedom, like, because
Yeah,
part of the
for
reason
sure.
we do this is because it's so much fun. So
I think the
Yeah.
best thing that you could possibly do if you're starting a YouTube channel is to just make stuff for yourself and don't really do anything that anyone else tells you to. Like, it sounds stupid, but like, especially comments are not reflective of people's actual thoughts, because it's much
Yeah.
more likely for someone to leave a comment complaining than it is for them to leave a comment because they actually like something. So it's like, I
Yeah.
personally have never, like, I will make whatever I want to make, and that
Yeah.
that's that. Like, I don't even make video games for people to play them. I make video games because I want to play them. It's like it's such a backwards way of thinking, but genuinely it makes it so much easier if you just stop caring.
yeah, it sounds so weird, but it really is true, because
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
like, I don't know about you guys, but like, working on games, I make my best games when people aren't watching me, which is terrible for my channel, like,
Yeah.
because that's like your whole process, like. And I realized, like, even when I first started making videos like devlogs, they were games I already like finished or stopped working on. But I don't know how you guys do it. Like, you guys make a game for a video and then post it. Like, it's so stressful. Like,
Yeah.
recording yourself working on it, I'm like, I'd rather just be listening to RuneScape music or something. And
Yeah. No, that's why this past like year, sorry, I cannot talk, but this past year was so weird for me because I was making a lot of games like just like with like friends at school and stuff without any worry about like making it for a video or making it with a super obscure like programming language. I was just making games in like bigger groups too. I don't know, it's super like refreshing.
For sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
It feels like like not to be, at least from my perspective, coming from like an art background, like it's really awkward making art when people are around. I don't know why. Like even when I was going into work in the office, I had to go sit down in like the cafeteria area and just have my back to a wall because I just feel so vulnerable. People walking by and like, oh, that looks terrible, and then they walk away. Like, you feel like people are gonna make fun of you. So it's kind of weird. Like what we do is very unnatural, but it just kind of works. But I think people just love to see the process of like how it's inspiring. Like whenever I watch your guys' videos, I'm like, oh man, I gotta work on my game. Like when Jonas released his game, it was super exciting, super pumped. It's just exciting to see other people's success. But yeah, it's just like a double-edged blade sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Well, guys, I mean, I think that was a perfect way to, introduce ourselves
Perfect
back.
revival.
Yeah,
back
so we'll do
see
another
you
one of
2 years
these
from
in-
now.
Yeah, in a year.
Yeah, see you guys in 2023.
No, hopefully
Or
we'll
maybe
get
see
a,
you next week.
Yeah, maybe
week
we'll
after.
get a couple more out. I think we're gonna take a little bit of a more light-hearted approach towards it going forward.
Yeah,
so,
more casual.
If we have time, we'll make one, and if we don't, we won't, kind of thing. And yeah, it's kind of like a little corner of dedicated people, and yeah, so it should be good.
I think we're here for the long run. So,
All right, Jacob, do you want to sing the Dev Dump outro theme song?
Yeah, if you give me the words, I think I forgot them.
No, you know him.
Wait,
You know him.
Actually, you might know it better than I do. if
No,
you
I
wanna do
think
it.
you know him.
Yeah, well, I'm in a public space right now.
No,
I'm not pretending.
exactly. I think it's we literally rehearsed this the other night, guys. It's come on.
Yeah, take it away, Barji.
No,
take it away.
you can do it. I believe in you. Come on.
The
Wonderful.
Dev Dump theme song.
I probably just messed with the layout. That was
All right,
great.
guys. We'll see you
All
next
right.
time.
See you in
Goodbye.
the next one. Peace out.